Next two rules are disjunctive syllogism and conjunctive syllogism. Now let us see them one by one. Now in disjunctive syllogism, the rule of inference is negation of P, comma P or Q tautologically implies Q. Now how to read this particular thing? See, this is an argument wherein we are having two premises, premise 1 and premise 2, and on the basis of these premises we are drawing a conclusion which is Q, and this means whenever negation of P is true and P or Q is true, then Q is also true. So this is basically an implication wherein you say premise 1 is true and premise 2 is true, and therefore the conclusion will also be true. Now in order to prove that this is a tautological implication, we need to prove that the implication is a tautology. So let us do that. We will apply the basic formula for implication, which is negation of this entire left hand side, that is negation of P and P or Q or the right hand side. Now here we will apply the De Morgan's law, which will be negation of P, which is P, or negation of P or Q Now if you club this P or Q together, it will become P or Q or negation of P or Q. Now if you compare this with the format F or negation of F, because these brackets are same, P or Q, so we can say a formula or negation of the same formula, and by applying the negation law which we had discussed in one of the previous session, the negation law says any variable H or negation of H will always be true. Any formula F or negation of F will always be true. Same cases here, there is a formula or negation of formula will always come out to be true, and therefore we have proven that negation of P and P or Q implies Q is a tautology, and therefore we can say negation P and P or Q tautologically implies Q. Similarly, okay, let us see, there is one more thing here. If you observe this particular formula, what does it say? That P is false and at least one of P or Q is true. You tell me, or you observe one thing, under what condition this P or Q will be true? P or Q will be true when either P or Q or both are true. But here we are saying that P is false. Now when P is false, in order to P or Q become true, the value of Q must be true, and therefore the meaning of negation P and P or Q concludes Q. In order to left hand side, whenever this left hand side is true, the right hand side will always be true. The meaning of left hand side is true basically says that Q has to be true, and that is what we are writing down here. See, again I am reading it. P is false and at least one of P and Q is true, therefore Q is true. Okay, this one way to write down the formula, and another is the okay. So whenever negation of P or Q, so P or Q and P is false, therefore Q has to be true. Similarly, P or Q, it means either P or Q have to be true, but Q is false and therefore P has to be true. So the way we have proven this first formula, the second formula can also be proven. And now let us go to what we mean by conjunctive syllogism. Okay, so let us see, in conjunctive syllogism we are saying negation of P and Q, comma P tautologically implies negation Q. So this formula basically becomes negation of P and Q and P implies negation of Q. And in order to prove the tautological implication, we need to prove that this implication is a tautology. But before seeing the formal proof, let us see what is the meaning. What they are saying, P and Q is false. Now P and Q is false means at least one of P and Q has to be false. Because if both of them are true, then P and Q cannot be false. So either it has to be true false or false true, or both of them have to be false. But on the other side we are saying that P is true and therefore Q must be false. So see, the interpretation of this particular implication will be like this, that P and Q is false, therefore at least one of P and Q has to be false, but P is true and therefore Q has to be false. Okay, so let us try to prove this particular formally. I will apply the De Morgan here. Now after applying De Morgan, this will become negation of P or Q, negation of P or negation of Q and P. Okay, implies negation of Q. Now we need to put this within brackets because we are having the and sign here. Now we will distribute this and, so it will become P and negation of P, or P and negation of Q implies negation of Q. Now P and negation of P will become false. False or anything is always equal to anything. We need to apply the identity rule, identity law, which says false or X will always be equal to X. So P and negation of P, this is the negation law which says X and negation of X will always be false. So here we will apply the negation law, this will become false, false or anything is equal to the same thing. So this will become P and negation of Q implies negation of Q. And if you apply the simplification rule here, the very first rule that we saw, what did the rule say? P and Q implies Q. So we have already seen that whenever you got these two variables like this, P and something, then it will imply one of the two terms. So here this can fit in the format A and B tautologically implies B, but the only difference is in place of B we are having negation of Q, and when we apply the implication formula here, this will become negation of left hand side or right hand side, and this will become negation of P, or this will become Q or negation of Q. Now Q or negation of Q will become true, and true or anything always comes out to be equal to true. So like this we have proven the formula for conjunctive syllogism. Now if you observe this particular step, here what we are saying, either P is false or Q is false. Negation P or negation Q means either Q is false or either P is false or Q is false and P is true, and therefore Q has to be false. See, either P or Q have to be false. At least one of these two have to be false, but P cannot be false because P is true and therefore Q will become false. So we have proven that negation P and Q and P tautologically implies negation Q is a tautology, and therefore we can say that negation P and Q and P tautologically implies negation of Q. This particular implication can never become false, it will always be true, and we saw in the previous session that an implication which can not be made false, which will always be true, is called as a tautological implication. So these formulae are quite important, you should remember them very well and try to derive this formula yourself. What you should do, I have derived this formula and this formula, you should try to derive these two formulae, number 1 and number 2. The derivations are quite similar in nature.